Thank you, and it's a privilege to be here with you today. Such a good group of people who have been raising their voices to the plight of our brothers and sisters in the Middle East. For more than a decade, extremists over there have targeted Christians and other minorities, and you just look at the numbers and it's very stark, going from 1.5 million Christians in Iraq to fewer than 250,000 today. In Syria, looking back over the decades, realizing that we had a third of the population there in the 1920s, now less than 10%. And even Turkey, where you look at Constantinople, which in 1900 was majority Christian and now is less than 1%. The West has been slow to recognize the peril of the dwindling minorities in the Middle East, of Christians and non-Christians, for example, the Yazidis alike. But recent actions of ISIS are changing that. When you have ISIS with its rhetoric and actions, rhetoric such as, "We will conquer your Rome, break your crosses, and enslave your women." And they've been rolling across the Middle East with carrying out that threat. But people are speaking, you're speaking. We have international leaders speaking out. Pope Francis has been adamant with respect to what's been going on over there. And we in Congress are speaking as well and joining our voices. I was proud to co-sponsor a resolution that we passed out of the House last year, HRES 683, that condemned the severe persecution that Christians and other ethnic and religious minority communities are suffering in Iraq, and calling for international humanitarian intervention to aid these groups. This year I've co-sponsored legislation 1568, the Protecting Religious Minorities Persecuted by ISIS, to allow individuals from Iraq or Syria who are persecuted by ISIS for their religious beliefs to apply for priority refugees admission to the United States. Moreover, the United States, for its part, remains the largest provider of bilateral assistance to address the humanitarian crisis in Syria, with more than $4 billion to date. The United States, through the Department of Treasury's Office of Foreign Assets Control, also has instituted a comprehensive sanctions regime against Syria in response to the ongoing violence and human rights abuses taking place there. I encourage you to continue to speak, to continue to act, but let us not forget to continue to pray for our persecuted brothers and sisters. In the 143rd Psalm, David asks, and we join our prayer with those in the Middle East, "Lord, hear my prayer. Listen to my cry for mercy. In your faithfulness and righteousness, come to my relief. Do not bring your servant into judgment, for no one living is righteous before you. The enemy pursues me, he crushes me to the ground. He makes me dwell in darkness like those long dead. So my spirit grows faint within me. My heart within me is dismayed. I remember the days of long ago. I meditate on all your works and consider what your hands have done. I spread out my hands to you. I thirst for you like a parched land." Thank you for the work you are doing. Let us continue to work together. May God bless you. May God bless our brothers and sisters.